Okay, let's draw and paint some ornaments with Crayola markers. You heard that right, we're gonna paint with markers. For this lesson, you need a sheet of watercolor paper and Crayola markers. You'll also need something round, a circle, that you can trace around and draw any size circles that you want. And I'm just gonna draw around them and place them how I'd like the ornaments to hang. I'm gonna do 5 circles. Next, I'm going to outline each circle in my favorite colors. Just outline the circle, and then I'm going to draw a couple of little shapes, kind of a teardrop shape, a little long oval shape, because that's going to be my reflection. That's going to be an area that I am not going to paint. I'm going to paint everything around those shapes, but I'm not going to paint inside those right now. Those are going to be where the light is going to bounce off my ornament, just to give it a little more 3D effect. And you're not going to need to color in your circles, because you can add just a few little strokes of marker and then grab a wet paintbrush and you can move that marker ink around just like watercolor. Crayola markers are water-based, and that means we can treat them just like watercolor. Leave that gleam shape white if you can, or at least make sure it's lighter than the rest of your ornament. Use the water on your paintbrush and you're going to just color in. Make sure you let some of those areas be darker than others, because that just adds more depth to your painting and it makes you look like you did something fancy. Add color to each of your ornaments and then paint with the water. You probably want to do these one at a time just to make sure that your marker ink doesn't dry too fast on you. Now you can add the top of your ornament, and I'm going to outline mine with brown because I know that I want a gold tone on some of these, so the brown will look really well and turn kind of goldish when I add yellow. But I might even do some gray ones for silver. Now you need something that's hanging your ornament. I'm just going to add some string. Now, if your ornaments are dry or at least not sopping wet, you can add a little bit darker shade of your color. So if you have light green, use a darker green. If you have red, use a maroon. If you don't have those colors and you have a gray marker, add a little bit of gray to the bottom circles, to the bottom of all your circles, and then use your paintbrush to blend that out, and it will create a little bit of shadow or a little shade in an area. And this is just making our ornament go from a flat drawing to looking more 3D, more realistic. Now you can add color to your background the same way you did your ornaments. I'm just going to start scribbling in some color and then blending it in with my paintbrush. I'm only going to work in a small area at a time, because once that marker dries, it's really hard to get it to blend out into watercolor effect. Once you have your background painted and it's still wet, sprinkle you a little salt on the background, not on the ornaments, just on the background. And when it dries, you will see that it leaves behind extra special details to your painting. And then you can just knock that salt off so we can go to the next step. And I think I'm gonna add some greenery. If you have an area where you had a little boo-boo or an oops moment with your marker or the way it dried, you can cover that area with a little bit of greenery. Nobody's gonna know. So to make my greenery, I'm gonna take a brown marker, make a curved line, and then I'm gonna add a gray, a dark green, and a light green in that order to create the greenery or like a pine effect. You could add any greenery that you want. I live in the South and we have a lot of pine trees. And that's it. We hope you enjoyed this easy Christmas ornament project. It looked a lot harder than it was, right? If you like this video, we just ask that you hit subscribe so you'll know when we add more Christmas videos to our Christmas playlist. We pray that you forget not the Lord in this season and every day.